Welcome to another episode of Hello Again Wednesday with Brent Miller. Each Wednesday you can join in as a special guest. Answer it along with the question of the day. Listen to life stories. Follow him on Spotify or your favorite podcast platform. On Facebook. Or his YouTube channel, Brent Miller, What's on His Mind. This week's episode. Stir crazy at home. And now.
All right, it is Hello Again Wednesday. This is episode number 122. I'm glad that you joined me this Wednesday. Thanks for following me on Facebook or checking the YouTube channel. Just the stuff I was talking about, and just a reminder that I have started podcasting these episodes. They are on Spotify, Google Play, I think even Apple Play and stuff like that, that you can listen to them or watch them at any time on your favorite podcast stream that you have, okay? But most of all, I want to thank you today, especially for being my special guest. I call you my special guest week after week. Those of you especially that chime in on the question of the day or many questions that are throughout the episode. If you guys just keep it up, please, that would be great. Share it with other people. Have them click on and join in on the conversation. Click on share them if you would, please. I am going to do just like I did a pain report last week, just so everyone's up to speed. I had my surgery 2 Thursdays ago and came home on that Saturday, but it's a little chilly out here. I am sitting outside, and as you saw from the opening credit thing there, it is stir crazy at home. And so part of my recovery is staying at home. There's still some discomfort. Obviously, I mean, I had this huge cut in my back and about 18 staples. Staples are uncomfortable in a way because they just are. It's like you've been stapled back together, and so it feels kind of like I got someone hitting me straight in the back or with a hammer or something like that. But it's discomforting, and I still have to wait till Monday. Monday is when I get them staples jerked out. Okay, and so it kind of like, oh, you just tell people it's just a pinch, Yeah, there's like 18 pinches that you got to deal with, so it's kind of rough. But she'll be the one that, I'm on so many restrictions. And so she'll be driving me down to get those out on Monday, late morning, to get my staples out. I am on the road to recovery. I am so grateful for some things, though. Always looking for that, not silver lining, but just the greatness of it. And that is, I don't have the pins and needles anymore. Haven't had a Charlie horse in my leg since. And that is so awesome, because I had a Charlie horse from December all the way up to my surgery. And it just nonstop. It was incredible. And so I am so relieved at that. I do still, and I got a long way to recovery. It took me almost the year before I had the pain come back. But, in that road to recovery I had from my last time of surgery. And so I'm going to have to kind of hang out with seeing how things go. But there's still some numbness and stuff, and it's kind of weird still. But you know what? I like I said, with the restrictions, it's I walk, and not a lot. Oh my goodness gracious! I way better than before the surgery, because I could hardly get around the house. But I walk about a. We have large blocks out here in Los Angeles, and so I walk half of our block and then half of another block, as in I walk a straight line and then I turn around and walk it back. So it's not a lot of walking yet. I do have goals, and I'm trying to build up to them to get moving a whole lot better, more likely. And I know it'll be happening where I'll have physical therapy, but I am on so many restrictions at the moment to where it is some people will cheer. I got out of cleaning the house. I got out of doing dishes. I got out of cleaning and doing dishes and laundry, and you know what? But my family will tell you I play a part in that, and when someone comes down off of that doing that part, it makes things a little bit harder for everyone else. And so I feel bad about that. But at the same time, if I do anything, I'm telling you anything, they are on top of me to, man, stop doing what you're doing. Don't be bending that way. Don't be turning that way. Don't be walking this way. And so they keep me in line on the restrictions that I do have. I would like to say this. I want to thank everyone that has done a few things. Those that are keep praying for me. And I thank you for doing that. That's why I have these great reports, I believe, with my heart. And so that's why I always say, if you pray for me and ask me, I'll pray for you too. But I also want to thank you guys for that have given me well wishes in the comments, hoping for speedy recoveries and stuff like that. Thank you very much for that, as well as a card or two that has come my way. Thank you for that also. And so getting to the question of the day. The question of the day, if you saw oh man, where's my cursor? See, this is the bad thing. I got to lean forward just a touch. With the question of the day, it is, what do you do when you are going stir crazy or have cabin fever? And so for me, it is recovery, okay? So I have to rest, a lot of restrictions, then bed, then to the recliner in the living room or to the couch recliner. And then maybe if I'm in the bedroom, there's a recliner in there. And so it's recliner, bed, restrictions, bed, repeat. And it has been that way since I came home as part of my recovery. And so it is a little bit hard for me that way. So that's why I asked the question, what do you do when you are going stir crazy or have cabin fever? Because I do, I'm going stir crazy, and my kids, my family, they all see it too. And sometimes they kind of laugh about it a little bit, but it is still stir crazy. Oh my goodness gracious. And so I began to look up some things, okay? Because I have a lot of time on my hand to just sit. And so I'm looking online, and I found a bunch of things, to go along. I'm always prepping for these Hello Again Wednesdays. And so I decided, I came across it where it said, hey, here's a definition of stir crazy. And they use it as adjectives. They use it as adjectives and verbs too, I think, okay? Or just descriptions. And so the definition, and I found this if you go online and look up stir crazy definition, and then if you Google it, because that's what I did, it'll come up with the dictionary.com, it'll come up with Merriam-Webster's, it'll come up with Urban Dictionary, it'll come up with a bunch of different books of definitions for stir crazy. So let's go through a couple. Bear with me. This is the informal thing. It's restless, uncomfortable, or impatient due to inactivity or frantic because of confinement. And it was, I was stir crazy after just 2 months of keeping house. And so I put it in perspective. I'm going stir crazy after this a little bit more than a week. Actually, no, tomorrow will be 2 weeks. 2 weeks of having surgery. And so it's driving me, the confinement and stuff is just kind of driving me crazy. Are you ready? Then I also found that it also means you're mentally disturbed because of long imprisonment or otherwise confined or just want to get out. Somebody get me out of this place. I've been in the house how long? And so that's some. Let me keep on going, because there's with stir crazy, it's you're either upset or angry because you've been prevented from going somewhere or doing something for a long time. And that is me. I have been prevented. And now, I'm about to hit that second week, and Connie's kind of, well, would you like to try and do this? Would you like to? And I have to debate it. Even though I'm going stir crazy, I have to debate, my limitations and what's going to happen. And so, yeah, I'm not angry. I'm not upset, but I have been prevented from going some places. In fact, you know how can you put that in a sentence? I've been laid up for 2 weeks with a broken leg, and I'm beginning to go stir crazy. Of course, for me, I've been laid up for 2 weeks with a zipper on my back with staples, with back surgery for 2 weeks, and I'm going stir crazy. Then I found this one. I told you about Urban Dictionary. I found this one in Urban Dictionary, and it just made me chuckle, made me laugh, right? And it says this is the definition of stir crazy in Urban Dictionary: fits of soul-sucking boredom often accumulated with those who do not have a life. And so my thought was this: if that is the definition of stir crazy, the remedy must be get a life. And so I was just kind of enjoying that. Okay, now and here's the last one. This one and this is going to go with, as you can see where I'm at. I did last week's Hello Again Wednesday in the recliner. I had my microphone on my chest and stuff, and I was just trying to, that was it was rough. See, that was Wednesday. That was almost 1 week after, and it was still rough for me. So I was doing it from the recliner. And so the last definition for stir crazy, to help you remedy it, is needing fresh air or a new situation. And so I'm outside, out here in partly sunny, partly cloudy, mostly cloudy. Rain comes and rain goes. We have had a lot of rain out here in Southern California. Everything is growing great. You can see my orange tree behind me right here have just got oranges everywhere. And I can't pick them, restrictions. And so I also have a revived daisy bush thing. And it's only, I described this the other week, I think, and it is just completely pink and white with daisies. And it's beautiful. And Michelle is trying to figure out how to help me to make it flourish because I have a pot in the front yard, and I think Lauren caught me pulling a weed out of it. Yes, but it stands up pretty tall. So hey, whatever. Those are my restrictions, and I know it. And so, that's the way it goes. Let me just keep on going here. Okay. And so the thing was, in finding those definitions, I look at websites. So then I started looking, when I first started prepping for this stir crazy thing, I saw some things, and I hadn't opened them yet. I thought I'll go back to them. And it was websites to help you with stir crazy or cabin fever. And then as I began clicking on them on the websites, I noticed that I had to do a lot with 2020, 2021, COVID and all that stuff. So it didn't quite pertain to right now, but it was a thought process of how to remedy stir crazy or cabin fever. So then I'm looking, ready? And one of the websites was exercise. Okay, nah, I'm on restrictions. I can't quite exercise yet. I'm not even doing physical therapy yet. So nope, not on the exercises. One was stretch. It had to do with a lot of physical stuff. So it had this yoga stretching and stuff. And I'm like, I had a question mark for that. No, I can't be doing that. And then, especially the stretch part, I'm telling you what, I realize I have staples in my back when I move a certain way sometimes. Ready? Before I keep going. So the beauty of what I can do that's not a restriction was, as soon as I got home, I was able to take a shower. With there's no bandage on or anything like that. It's just my back and staples. And so I've done it before, so I'm letting water run over. It feels so good to take a shower after being in the hospital with nothing. Okay. And so might have been 2 days into it, as I'm doing the shower and I'm getting out and I'm having help and with Connie, and man, you wouldn't believe it takes a lot of concentration to not do what you usually do. And so I had ripped across my back with the towel to dry off, and that's what I do. And I realized, I touched the staples. I immediately knew what I had done, and don't do that. So anyways, the other thing this website said was do chores. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, there's no chores involved in my restrictions yet. Another thing was make breakfast. And I love to make breakfast, but then I thought, well, if you breakfast, that always leads to chores, because now you have dishes to wash. And so, I will say this though, I think comfort food, ready? So breakfast is a comfort food to me. So it's a whole bunch of other stuff. Go ahead and list what your comfort foods are. With breakfast, though, or comfort food, here's the problem. When you can't do the exercises, when you can't do the stretches, when you can't do those other things, if you're eating all this comfort food, then probably you're going to gain weight, which means you need to exercise. And right now I have restrictions, so we can't do that. Do you see what I'm saying here? Okay. Now, on that website, some of people are going to love this one. It said to remedy your stir crazy or cabin fever, play video games. And we got some kids. Jaden's one, Elijah's another, Cameron. We have people on their devices a lot. And so they would love the play game or some sort of interacting thing with their devices. And so the other thing is when you're playing games, video games, though, it's hard because it's, especially if it's a single player, then fights break out because they're not sharing and not that they had more time than this one. We have a timer on and stuff like that. And so that takes place. Not really the best of remedies for stir crazy or cabin fever, in my opinion. So then I started to read an article, another different article, and it went like this. Stay on schedule, get active, get creative. Now, some of this I thought, okay, schedule, scheduling is the hardest for me, with so many restrictions. And then I was going through the pain process before and then after. And I began to forget what day it was. And because time just kind of melded together in this stir crazy, it's not like I was on any of my schedules. And so it was very difficult to know what time it was and stuff like that. That's what causes stir crazy. And get active. And so I go out and walk, and I start walking more and more each day. And so that's my active right there. Creative, I'm always trying to be creative on something. It's hard because if I want to do something really cool, it has restrictions. Stay connected. Now that's a big one. Stay connected. And then this article, it goes on. These are simple tricks that can greatly help you when you're feeling a little stir crazy. What are you waiting for? Create a schedule. Finish a quick workout. Take a dip in your spa. Paint a picture and call a loved one today. To start melting away the day in your own free flow spa, call such and such. And so it's like a commercial to sell spas to get rid of your stir crazy or cabin fever. You can melt those days away. Okay, now some of those suggestions I'm good with. Okay, but I did come across for me, a better website that I connected with a lot better. Okay. And obviously I believe it's a lady and she's a Christian writer. And so this is how it goes. And I thought, well, you know what? Some of you don't balk at this. Think it through. Practice your faith. And so I'm not going to tell you how to do your faith or anything like that, but this is a self look at stir crazy, cabin fever. Practice your faith. Whatever it is that you do to practice your faith. Me, it's go to church, which has been a struggle. I have not been there to preach, but you know what? This is my goal for this Sunday, that if Saturday goes well, I'm going to sit and preach this Sunday at Culver City Church of God. So practice your faith. What is it that you guys do to practice your faith? Then another one was gratitude. When you practice gratitude, what it does is it creates a mind shift. It changes your focus from the things that you don't have to the things that you do have. And so some of that, as I read that, I was like, wow, that's very true, because you start to, oh, woe is me, when it's, oh, wait a minute, I got this and this and this and this. I got people that are waiting on me hand and foot. Oh my goodness gracious. And so there's gratitude, which is why I started out this episode with gratitude for those that have, go back and look at it. So the other thing was read. Now, when I saw that read, I'm not big on reading, but I've been, like I said, reading through websites. But Lauren, my daughter Lauren, would love that part of not being stir crazy or not having cabin fever. She would love a library of books where she could just read. How about this? Write letters, the paper ones. And I thought about that. Wow, yeah, write letters, the paper ones. You know what that does for you personally? It takes more of an effort to do it sometimes. It takes takes more of your time to do it, and it also probably takes money. If you're going to mail them in the post office, it takes money to have those letters go out. The other thing it said in that article was pursue hobbies, start a project, learn something new. I'm like, wow, those are all great, man. If you can do a hobby where it's not taking a lot of well, because of restrictions or whatever, but if you can, let's go after surgery. Let's go in the way down the recuperation. Pursue hobbies, start a project, learn something new. Okay. And so here was one of my favorites, and I have done this a lot during my time in recovery here, and that's listen to music. And I listen to my music very loudly, which is pure enjoyment for me. You know, say what you will, but I love listening to music, and it does kind of take me away. Okay. And so another one was do something else. Excuse me, do something kind for someone else, which also requires thought, time, and effort on your part for a remedy of stir crazy. Now, there was one thing that was not on any of these Google lists for stir crazy or anything like that. And I thought of this, that for me to not have that stir crazy, to walk away from cabin fever, is going to a favorite amusement park or the beach. And I love both of those. And those just ease me back to reality. And so we'll see how things go this weekend. You know, like I think I told you guys earlier on, we have changed from Six Flags to Knott's Berry Farm, which has the Peanuts characters, Snoopy and Charlie Brown and all of them. Has some different rides for the kids to ride. The food is unbelievably awesome. And so I cannot wait to have that part of my stir craziness go away. So Bible study is today at 5:30 at Culver City Church of God. Excuse me, no, because I'm taking one Wednesday. I'm trying to recoup all the way up to that Sunday so that I can preach. And so I'm not doing it in-house this Sunday. I will be on the Zoom with the other, Pastor Mark, who leads it with his wife, Cindy, be on the Zoom link for that for Wednesday Bible study at 5:30 on the West Coast. Now, if you want, I can always try and get you that Zoom link to join us. There's about 12 of us that are on there all the time. Or you can check out our Sunday service on Facebook. We had some difficulties and stuff with it this past couple of weeks, but it'll be back on track this Sunday, 10:45 Pacific time, on our Facebook page or our website, Culver City Church of God. You can always check us, or you can always check out a church near you that's having a Bible study or maybe a church service. Here's the thing, talking about stir crazy and cabin fever, get out, go be with friends, laugh, eat together, grow together with them. The best way to beat cabin fever or going stir crazy is go to church. Let's all click like and shares on these videos if you would for me, please, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Remember the question of the day to chime in. What do you do when you are going stir crazy or have cabin fever? Let me know. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you leave those comments in the your stories and comments in those sections too. Clicking those likes and shares so that more and more people can join in on this. You know, and make sure, most of all, you understand and realize that you are my favorite special guest Wednesday after Wednesday. Thank you for being a part of this. If you're still, like I said, this will be the second podcast on Spotify and them. If you're new to this podcast with Hello Again Wednesday, thanks for being with me or listening, and tell others. Now, for all of us, remember, give somebody a huge hello again hug, a handshake, or whatever. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Let's see if I can get this going here. Next Wednesday on Hello Again Wednesday.
Thanks for watching or listening to this week's episode of Hello Again Wednesday with Brent Miller. Each Wednesday you can join in as his special guest. Answer along with the question of the day. Listen to Life Stories. Follow him on Spotify or your favorite podcast platform. On Facebook. Or his YouTube channel, Brent Miller, What's on His Mind. Please join him next Wednesday for another episode.